Someone actually read off to me a very interesting statistic. Because get the fuck out of here. Unbelievable. So someone told me that if you have, because I was bitching on some of the forums on Facebook that it's ridiculous. Whenever I go up against a deck that has Thought Erasure, he always has it in his opening hand. I figured, I'm like, what are the odds if you have 60 cards in a deck that you're going to have one of those 4 copies of Thought Erasure in your deck opening hand? Apparently, if you have 4 copies in a 60 card, Jesus Christ. Unbelievable. How's it going, my fellow Planeswalkers, and welcome back to my channel. Today, I have another cool brew just for you, and I'm calling this one Krenkos Angels. So, Divine Visitation. Let's speak about Divine Visitation a little bit. This is a really cool enchantment in the white colors. It's a 5-drop, mythic rare. I have 4 copies, which pleases me greatly. So basically what this does is whenever you would create a token, you would actually, instead of creating the token, let's say you would create a 1/1 goblin token, while Divine Visitation's down on the field, you'll actually create a 4/4 white angel creature token with flying and vigilance instead. So the possibilities are endless with such a card, especially now that we've had another great token creating creature added in the War of the Spark expansion, and I'm talking about Krenkos, the Tin Street Kingpin. So for all of you guys who don't know what Krenkos does over here, whenever it attacks, it gets a 1/1 counter placed upon it, and then you create a certain amount of goblin 1/1 red goblin creatures equal to its power. So every turn it just gets stronger and stronger. With Divine Visitation down, you're actually just creating 4/4 angel creature tokens with flying and vigilance. So this gets totally out of hand. Yeah, let's get right up into the breakdown. Before I do, I want to give you guys a reminder to hit the subscribe button if you haven't yet. And here we go. Okay, so we have 2 Dawns of Hope, another great way to create some tokens over here. It's also a great way to get some card draw. Whenever you gain life, you could just pay 2 mana in and get some card draw. So let's say I do have Dawn of Hope down and the requisite amount of mana. I could create 1/1 white soldier creature tokens with lifelink to chump block some stuff out. If I have even extra mana to that, I could go ahead and pay 2 colorless mana. I get to draw a card. So even if I don't have Divine Visitation down, you'll get a decent amount of value out of Dawn of Hope. So I think it warrants 2 copies in this deck. So I'm running 2 copies of that. I have 4 Goblin Instigators. This is obviously just for the tokens. We have 4 Lightning Strikes, 4 Drastic Strikes, and then 4 copies of Krenkos. So Krenkos, as I explained to you before, is a really dope card. It's a great way to make creature tokens. He is a bit hard to protect. He fades out usually right away because the second he hits on the battlefield, he's such a threat that the opponents do everything in their power to get rid of him. Then we have Legion War Boss. In a way, this Legion War Boss is a bit better than Krenkos simply because he automatically creates a token regardless whether I attack. And that creature token has haste. So if I have him down on the field and then I have Divine Visitation out, that flying vigilance is also hasty now. So you get a good swing in for damage, and then, you know, I could block out if I need to. Then we have 2 Conclave Tribunals. We have plenty of, you know, tokens in this deck. This is a very good way of removing some stuff from my opponent. I find it works better than Ixalan's Binding in such a deck. We have 2 Leonin War Leaders for some more tokens, 4 copies of Divine Visitation, and then we have another cool mythic rare that came out in the War of the Spark. So this creature is the God Eternal Oketra. It's a 3/6 with double strike, and whenever it dies, dies or exiles, I could always shuffle it into the third card from the top of my deck, so I could always get some more value out of him if I need to. Essentially, what Oketra does over here, whenever I play any form of creature, I create a 4/4 black zombie warrior creature token with vigilance. So essentially, if Divine Visitation is down, I'm adding flying to that token. But this is just a great way to get some tokens rolling. Yeah. And then we have 2 Siege Gang Commanders, which is another token creator. It creates 3 tokens as it comes into the field. We have 10 Plains, 9 Mountains, 4 Boros Guild Gates, 3 Clifftop Retreats. So this is Krenkos Angels. Let's get on into it round 1 and see what we can do for you guys. So this is a bit risky because I don't have anything to play until turn 3. But I figured let's roll into it and hopefully I'll draw something a bit earlier as well. Okay, I'm feeling a bit risky. Let's go for it. We have Divine Visitation as well. And 2 Legion War Bosses. So this should be pretty sweet if we could have Legion War Boss remain on the field. And even if he could remove one, let's hope that he can't remove the second. The problem with Legion War Bosses is that, yeah, we're going to be playing against some hand hate. Right off the top, he's going to take the Divine Visitation. No doubt. Okay, so I don't know how this deck's going to hold up to some good old hand hate. I can imagine the next turn we're going to get a Thought Erasure in our face. We shall see. You know? I find that I typically never do very well against such decks. Yep, there's the Thought Erasure. As per usual. Someone pointed out to me a very interesting statistic. That's very interesting that he took that. I guess he has board wipes. Oh, look at that. I just drew a 3rd copy of Legion War Boss. Someone actually read off to me a very interesting statistic. Because, get the fuck out of here. Unbelievable. So someone told me that if you have, because I was bitching on some of the forums on Facebook that it's ridiculous. Whenever I go up against a deck that has Thought Erasure, he always has it in his opening hand. I figured, I'm like, what are the odds if you have 60 cards in a deck that you're going to have one of those 4 copies of Thought Erasure in your deck opening hand? Apparently, if you have 4 copies in a 60 card, Jesus Christ. Unbelievable. Okay, at least we have Divine Visitation. If he has a 4th copy in his hand, I am calling some massive hacks. Anyway, to finish off the statistic, is that if you have 4 copies of a specific card in a 60 card deck, by turn number 2, you have like a 45% chance of drawing one of those copies. So I find that to be really ridiculous. I don't know how that math adds up, but apparently he was quoting me statistics and giving me graphs, so I'm going to take it on face value. But that was ridiculous. This is just BS. 1 Duress and 3 Thought Erasures back to back. Who could deal with such a deck? Like, honestly, what am I even supposed to do about that? Unbelievable. So, you know, I figure he's going to do a board wipe, you know, maybe a Ritual Suit or something to that degree. I don't know if I could recover. That was just too devastating. Oh, Thief of Sanity. And, okay, I can. So now I create a token, so at least that was nice. So we have a 4/4 Angel. Let's just hope that he can't remove this Angel. If he can't remove this Angel, my opponent won't be able to do... Wait, interesting. So 6. I have 8 damage right over here. He's going to be forced to do something with the Angel. Yeah, okay, so he's going to swing it over here, and unfortunately he's going to pull something from the top off of my deck. I may be a bit too devastating, and I have no cards in hand. Like, legit, this guy, hand hate is an underestimation when we look at what he just did to me. 3 Thought Erasures and 1 Duress. Oh my god. So if he threw those away, then you know that he pulled some hella value right now. He probably has a Krenko of his own. He just stole my Krenko. I know it. I feel it. Or maybe he had to take a token creating thing. No, he would have. Really now. He took my Lightning Strike. Oh, beautiful. Please. Please, if that could just remain on the field for just 1 turn. He has 2 cards in hand. Let's really hope he has no... Mother... What? He made a massive mistake. He made a huge mistake. He must have not understood. Well, anyway, I got the Siege Gang Commander, so we're definitely good now. But that was a glorious mistake on his behalf. Beautiful. So we have Hella Angels out over here. Oh, this is good. This is nice. I feel pretty confident, unless he has like some Ritual of Soot, which would actually kill off everything besides the Siege Gang Commander, and the Siege Gang Commander would be useless to me at that point. but I'm feeling pretty confident. Yeah, okay, we're pretty good. There's nothing he could do. This game is mine. So good game. All right, so with all of that, we still was able to pull through in a win. And we have Dawn of Hope, so that's nice. Yeah, I'm just going to swing in with what I got. Yeah, okay, perfect. All right, so you saw how that works out. Divine Visitation, Krenko. What up? All right, let's go another round or two. That was super satisfying. Okay. You know when the opponent's paying for their avatars that you're up for a rough match. Okay, I'll stick with this. I have some pretty good early game plays. I have a bit of removal. I think we should be able to do pretty good. Although, as I said before, when your opponent is paying for his sleeves and his avatar, you know that you're going to be coming up against something rather rough. What I don't get is, I'm over here in casual play. Why didn't you just take it to rank, man? Maybe some form of, is it Drake deck? Who knows? No. Okay, so yeah, this is actually a Nicol Bolas deck. I feel it. I feel a Nicol Bolas deck. Unbelievable. Okay. We have Krenko. Who knows? We'll see if we could pull this off. Yeah, this is probably an amass crank. Yeah. Yeah, okay. That was highly unfortunate. I'm going to go ahead and pop the Dawn of Hope. I'm not going to play the Goblin Instigator on the off chance that I do score another land for the Divine Visitation. I'll get a way more value out of it playing it afterwards. Okay, so we're about to see a counter spell. Yeah. Oh well, I had to go for it. Oh really now? Oh really now? Okay, that's satisfying. That is actually very satisfying. So we could for sure create an angel this turn. Chemist's Insight. Oh, wow. Okay, so I'm going to be creating 2 angels at this point in time. I'm really surprised to see this. I didn't think I'd be able to get any angels on the field this game. So what? I think we're about to see an amass. Yeah, I think we're actually about to lose everything. Search for Ascanta. Okay, then he must have had a very slow start. I'm going to create another angel. Okay, we actually may be in a halfway decent position. We're about to swing in for 9 damage. So if I guess if I could survive this turn, that perhaps I win this game. I'm really surprised due to, as I said before over here, he definitely is a pay-to-win player. And me, just a lowly free-to-player. Each opponent returns a non-land. Okay, so I'm going to go like this, so I create another angel. I think I win. Actually, I think I straight up win. Okay, Irish Ragger. I just took a victory for the small people over here, us free-to-play players. Yeah, that was super satisfying. I'll do one more, just so you see what we're dealing with. You already saw it pop off when it came to the Krenko with the Divine Visitation. Solid. But you also see what I'm talking about. Legion War bosses, Krenkos, they're typically removed like right away. So this is a bit land heavy, but I do have an early play, and hopefully I'll draw into either a Krenko or a Legion War boss. Oh, 2 Divine Visitations. That's not good. Unfortunately, Divine Visitation does not compound upon each other. So, for example, if I had 2 Divine Visitations down and then I went ahead and played a Goblin Instigator, I wouldn't make 2 Angel tokens. I would just create 1. Okay, so if this is mono red and he had this slow start, then we're pretty good. We're pretty good. I actually want him to stay mono red. Yes, I think I want him to stay mono red. Rule Locket. This is actually very interesting to me. I think I'm in a very good position right now. So I have removal for whatever he's going to throw down now. Next turn, I'm going to go for the Divine Visitation. Turn afterwards, I'm going to come in with the Siege Gang Commander. We're going to create 3 Angels. Yeah, I think this one's in the bag. Okay, so he just threw down a Ronus. Yeah, you know what? I think I'll just get rid of it. Yeah, I think that was a good play. Oh. Okay, so let me think. If I put down... Should I... No, I'm actually going to just do the Divine Visitation now, because next turn I'm for sure going to create 3 Angel creature tokens if I go for the Siege Gang Commander. I figure if I try to get greedy and throw down the Legion War Boss right now, first off, I'm not curving out well because I'm not using all available mana, 1. Second off, I'd be only creating 1 token. Yes. And he would have died out anyway. It was a smart play. I'm very happy with my decision. And now we have a Krenko as well. So I'm going to go for the Siege Gang Commander. This works for me. So Burning Sun's Avatar does not have Trample, which is nice. So I could always just chump block it out with something like this. I'm going to throw down a Legion War Boss. Yep. All right, and that's game. That's game. Yeah, that was cool. Anyway, guys, I really hope that you enjoyed this deck. Krenkos Angels. Definitely recommend you give it a whirl if you have not tried something like this yourself. If you have any comments, drop it down below. I'm always looking to improve upon my decks. I hope you enjoyed and have a great day.